This is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And this time I'll be playing Warcraft Adventures, Lord of the Clans. Now, this is a bit of a special case because it's not really a finished game. It was never released, it was cancelled by Blizzard. And this is actually a leaked version that I downloaded from the internet a couple of years ago, but I never played it. From what I understand, it is unfinished in some regards. For example, some voices may be missing or some cutscenes, but apparently you can finish it, as in finish the plot. So I am a very big fan of the Warcraft universe, especially of the RTS game Warcraft 3, which I played a lot when I was younger, even like on Battle.net multiplayer and stuff. I also played quite a lot of World of Warcraft at some point, mostly role-playing there. So I'm very curious how this will handle the sort of familiar plot points, but it's also a special case for me because it's probably the first sort of classic point-and-click adventure game I ever played. I don't really dabble in that kind of games, so I'm curious how will I handle it, because I've read that especially those older titles, point-and-click games, can often have what is referred to as moon logic. So basically that's where the puzzles are composed in a way that they're not really logical. It's really sometimes difficult to realize what you are supposed to do, because it sometimes relies on combining items or using items that are really like they don't make a lot of sense from a logical standpoint. So I'm curious if I'll have any serious difficulties in progressing. But before I start the game, I will run the intro, because this leaked version actually contains the intro and I think some of the other cinematics, although not all of them. And the intro serves as a sort of, obviously, introduction to the story, so it'll be nice to view it. So, let me do that.
Footman, clear the road of this scum.
Lieutenant Blackmoore, sir. I think I found something here.
What in Lane's name?
Oh, kill it, sir. Whatever it is.
It's an Orkling! By all that's holy, sir, put the twisted thing out of its misery!
Pardon, sir, but why not?
Sir? Sir!
The fires of the Second War between the Orcs and the humans have at last grown cold. The human alliance has been victorious, but its homeland lies in ruin. The tattered remnants of the Orcish Horde now cling to a desperate existence in guarded settlements in the south of Lordaeron. All semblance of unity and brotherhood has drained away as water on the blasted plain. As a final insult to the once proud Horde, it is rumored that some humans have even begun to use captive orcs as slaves for hard labor.
You may drop the rock now, Thrall.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Now move the whole pile back where you found it.
It's very amusing, Blackmoore, but we've all seen orc slaves by now. What makes this one so special?
He was raised from infancy without even seeing another of his kind. His loyalty is to me alone. An orc who obeys human commands without question, General. Think of the possibilities.
Preposterous.
Is that so? Wait until you've seen him in the arena.
I don't like it, Blackmoore. What you're doing is reckless and dangerous. Orcs are forces of nature. You can't possibly expect us to believe that you've tamed this creature.
Just wait until you've seen him. There's your force of nature, calmly awaiting my orders. He begins to fight only when given permission. He stops fighting at the sound of my command. Oh, and he kills with frightening capacity. But only when I say so.
Incredible, if what you say is true. To control an orc in battle would be to control him completely.
Lieutenant?
Now, Thrall.
So apparently, there was quite a bit of mismatch between the sound and the graphics, and also I think it isn't the entire intro because it ended somewhat abruptly. But I think I'll start the game and then talk a little about the story. Wait. It's a different intro, isn't it? Although this seems even more unfinished. Interesting. Yeah, there is no sound in it at all. But it is different. Interesting.
"22 years have passed since Blackmoore found the young Orkling. 3 great wars between the human alliance and the orcish invaders have laid waste to the once proud realms of Azeroth. Secretly raising the Orkling within the confines of his prison fortress, Durnholde, Blackmoore planned to mold the Orkling into the perfect warrior. A warrior conditioned to human thinking, but with all the savagery of an orcish heart. With such a creature under his control, Blackmoore hoped to manipulate the orcish horde and use it to seize control over the human nations of Azeroth.
Thrall, have I taught you nothing in all these years? Are you not to stand when your betters enter the room? So, Thrall, what have you learned today?
Only that I live to serve you and the Alliance, Lord Blackmoore.
A wise response. You are learning. Indeed, you've learned much of the world, Thrall, yet you've never stepped outside the prison's walls. Perhaps the time has come to make better use of you. Follow me, Thrall. There's something I'd like to show you. Do you know what this is, Thrall? It is an orc, like yourself. And what are orcs, Thrall?
They are the enemies Of the Alliance, Lord Blackmoore.
Very good, Thrall. And what do we do with enemies of the Alliance?
We destroy them, so that they may no longer pose a threat to the Alliance.
Then deal with this wretch as it deserves.
I can't do it.
You will do it. It's a pity. All these years of training and conditioning gone to waste. I could have achieved so much. I should have remembered that after all, you are just an animal.
Ah!
Take this one to the dungeons. His execution shall commence at first light. And bring someone in here to clean up this mess.
The lieutenant is having me executed at dawn. There's got to be some way to get out of this cell. If I don't escape soon, I'll be about a foot shorter.
Yeah, so this was pretty badly mangled as well, but at the very least it provided a little bit more of a complete story of Thrall's origins. Basically, he was brought up from a baby by humans to serve humans, basically. Blackmoore wanted to use him sort of to combine natural orcish strength and prowess in battle with human tactics and like scholarship, because he actually trained him in the arts of war. To later, he wanted to use him against the. Like, he basically planned to at some point betray the Alliance and use Thrall as his sort of secret weapon. But obviously it didn't really work out for him in the end, which this story would be about. Now, what's interesting, because it's a sort of early version of the Warcraft canon, as it were, and some things were later changed compared to this version. Now, for example, in the current sort of canon, there is a very important character called Taretha, who was a woman. Well, actually a girl who befriended Thrall when he was still a prisoner, and he later developed a very friendly, deep relationship with her. And she was one of the. She actually, I think, she helped him escape. So she isn't in this game. There isn't such a character. And also, another interesting thing was that the narration mentioned that there were 3 wars between the Orcs, the Horde, and the Alliance. But if I understand it correctly, like at this point it should be 2 wars, because the Warcraft 1 was the sort of first conflict between the Kingdom of Stormwind in the south, or Azeroth as it were known at this point, because later on they changed it so that Azeroth referred to the whole world, but at first it was just a kingdom. And then Warcraft 2, which was the conflict between the Horde and the Alliance of Lordaeron, so sort of the northern kingdoms of humans plus the elves and the dwarves. But I don't see where the 3rd war would come in at this point. But in any case, we begin in the cell, as you can see, and I guess the first objective is to find a way out. So you have 3 actions you can do. You can attempt to, with every object, you can look at it.
Looks pretty sturdy.
Which usually prompts some kind of an observation from Thrall, which might help you decide what to do. You can grab it.
Can't do that.
Or you can Not sure. Attack it or I don't think it's supposed to be narrow enough to only signify eating, so I would say this is an attack or, you know, violently interact button.
I'm not hungry for that.
Or maybe it is an eating button, I'm not sure, judging from Thrall's comment there. Basically, you navigate the world by you know, using these three
I don't like
options
the looks of this.
to find items and then use them on various stuff and whatever. There's a rat there that seems to
That can't taste good.
stop me from reaching in there.
I see nothing special.
A toilet.
Nasty. Very nasty.
Oh, there's a sock apparently.
Someone's missing left sock.
Wonder if that's his. Okay, so here you've got your inventory. This is Thrall's like blanket he was wrapped in as a baby with the symbol of his clan.
The only trace I have left of my past.
Yeah.
Someone's missing left sock. These cell bars are pretty thick, but they look a little loose.
So maybe I can break them.
What's all the noise, you overgrown maggot?
Ooh, feeling a little restless before the big show, slave. Well, it's understandable, you being a guest of honor and all. But until they come for you...
Quiet!
Just relax. Before the hour's up, you'll have a great weight off your shoulders. Your head! Oh, we're taking bets on which way your head will roll. Do me a favor, mate. Pull to the right a bit, would you?
Okay, so apparently the card is vaguely Australian, because I think mate is a sort of is a decidedly Australian way to refer to people, although I may be wrong at that, because obviously I'm not Australian or even English myself. But there was a rock that fallen off the wall here. So maybe I can use it to...
A stone from the cell wall.
like break open the gate, because he was commenting how it looks loose.
Nah. It would take a lot of force to make it work. It would take a lot of force to make it work.
Okay, so maybe I can put it in a sock to create like a makeshift weapon of some sort. It would obviously make it easier to swing. Yeah, apparently. No? Ah, okay, I had to target the rock. I mean, the lock. But I have to be careful. Because the guard is armed, so obviously can probably kill me quickly.
I don't like the looks of this.
mop here.
A dried out mop.
In those kinds of games, it's usually prudent to just collect everything because probably going to need it at some point.
Just an empty wine crate.
Maybe I can stack it to reach the window here or something.
That's not gonna happen. The stonework around the window is cracked and brittle. I would love to, but I can't reach it.
Okay, so when you'll be able to. Yeah, I'm actually astonished at how quiet that was.
This doesn't look good. They're just aching for some target practice.
Okay, so I'm going to save, just in case they kill me or something.
Hey! Did you see that?
Oh, see what? You seeing things again? I can smell a dwarf spirit on your breath from here.
Yeah, well, everyone's got to be good at something, right? I seen what I seen.
Okay, so basically I need to probably find some way to conceal myself from them. So I'm not quite sure how to deal with the guard. I'm not armed or anything. Oh, there's a puddle. Maybe I can.
That's where the guard slipped.
Maybe I can make him sleep or something.
Can't do that. That's where the guard goes. He always locks the door when he leaves. The guard locked it.
So basically I need to draw him out in some way. I have a mob. Maybe I can kill him with the rock in a sock, although he has a crossbow, so I would say that the odds are stacked unfavorably against me. Or maybe I can like kill or drive away the mouse or the rat.
Nah.
And then reach into the rat hole.
Nasty. Very nasty. A dried out mop.
Ah, okay. I think I get it now. I need to basically get more water, or I suppose it's at least partially urine as well, but doesn't really matter. And now I need to soak the stairs. Now I need to somehow make the guard yeah, that should work.
I said quiet, animal!
Quiet. Now I get it.
Oh, he dropped a...
The guard's dagger.
Though I'm not quite sure. Although maybe that's the dagger. It looks more like a sword to me. Yeah, it's definitely more like a short sword.
He's really out cold. He doesn't have anything I need.
I wonder if I can kill him. Like, that's a little bit cruel, but I'm just curious.
He's no longer a threat to me.
Well, I guess Thrall is too honorable for that. That's Blackmoore's personal coat of arms.
That's the symbol of the lieutenant's homeland.
Although, wait, I think that may be the symbol of Alterac, one of the human kingdoms, the seven kingdoms, as it were. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if it was inspired by the Song of Ice and Fire, because the Song of Ice and Fire did come in first. So, but basically, in the world of Warcraft, there were those seven human kingdoms, each with its distinct like characteristics and stuff. And I think that may be the coat of arms of Alterac. I'll check it and probably put it in the description or something. I guess Thrall is pretty pissed with Blackmoore.
I don't like the looks of this.
Which isn't really surprising.
I don't think so.
Considering he's been a slave his whole life.
Guards with crossbows. Wanted for crimes against the sovereign lands of the Alliance. Dead or alive. Grom Hellscream and his Warsong clan. Grom Hellscream. He's like me. I gotta find him.
Can I take it?
Too much noise.
You have a likeness of him or something? Apparently not. There's some other posters here.
Cheap land being sold by the acre. Lordaeron contractors are rushing to the lands of Alterac, where recent government holdings are now up for sale to the public. Low-cost farmlands and room for expansion. Contact Ambassador Durnholde.
Now, Alterac was one of the seven human kingdoms which was dissolved after they betrayed the Alliance by entering a pact with the Horde. So basically that's why their lands are for sale, because they've been dissolved as a kingdom as a punishment for their treason.
Are you interested in a life of mystery and intrigue? Do you love adventure and excitement? Then come to the fabled Kingdom of Dalaran, where the pursuit of knowledge is always a magical journey. Magecaster apprenticeships are available.
That's cool. I think that this is actually like a mage building from Warcraft 2, the strategy game. And Kingdom of Dalaran is another one of those seven human kingdoms. This one specializes, as it says here, in sorcery and training mages. There was a final poster here.
Tyrallion, Khadgar, Alaria Danath. 1,000 gold pieces reward for any information regarding the whereabouts of these people.
That's interesting because those are the leaders of the Alliance expedition against the Horde, but like Tyrallion, I don't think looks this way anymore in the current lore, and if anything, he looks more like Kurdran, the dwarf leader, which is curiously missing here. His name is Kurdran, and I think he should be here, and he looked a little like this, you know, with the tattoos and the beard. So that's interesting. But also kind of annoying. I'm a big fan of the dwarves and I don't like to see them being overlooked. Oh, there's a pencil apparently. Can I do anything with it? Ah, so did Thrall just vandalize the, yeah.
Tyrallion, Khadgard, Alaria Danath. 1,000 gold pieces reward for any information regarding the whereabouts of these people.
So basically they are missing because they led an expedition behind the Dark Portal, so the portal that the orcs first used to invade Azeroth, and then they destroyed the portal, but that led them sort of stranded in the ruins of the orc homeworld planet, so that's why they are missing. I think this is actually good enough for a first introductory episode, and I'll check if check the recording, if the volumes and everything are okay, if I can be even if I'm even audible over the sounds of the game. So I'll save. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.